Hello, and this is Bookcast Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Hulk Build-A-Figure. So before we take a look at his accessories, before we take a look at him, let's take a look at his accessories. Oh, I need to keep him out for this part. He comes with his gladiatorial helmet, his gladiator helmet. This has some really nice detail to it. I like how it's that marbling going on the plastic, that silver color. That looks really nice. And there he has some of that war paint on there, just like Thor has. And then the mohawk on here. I think it's called the brush, I want to say. That looks really nice. There's a lot of sculpting detail going on it. And I think that looks really awesome. And I like how the dark color, like the dark brown, kind of fades into maroon and then fades into that light red color. Looks really awesome. Even on the inside of it, there's sculpted detail. And this can fit on Hulk's head. It stays on very tightly. It does look a little big on him, like that. Like you can tell that it's gapped a little bit. There's a gap. There's some gappage going on in there. But it doesn't look too bad. So up next, Thor comes with his battle hammer. That's what I'm calling it. Now this to me looks like an engine block on a truck stack. But it looks really nice. It's got a lot of sculpting going on. I'm not sure what these are. Kind of looks like teeth to me. But it's got a lot of sculpting and even paint detail. It's got a dry brushing of kind of a little... What color is that? I think it's brown or maybe black. Yeah, it's brown. Kind of like a rusty color to it. I think that looks really nice. I'm not really sure how this works. I kind of imagine these to kind of pop out like Rumble from Transformers and create like shock waves. That's probably nothing like how it actually goes down in the movie, but that's how I imagine it going down. And you can fit this in either hand. I just put it in his right hand. Now you do have to kind of wedge it in there. And if you keep Hulk's hand down like this, the weapon will start, as you can see, to bend downward. So keep it up like that. Like he also comes with an axe, and it's just fine. The only thing I can think is because the handle is really soft, rubbery kind of plastic, and the weight of this, the actual top piece, is so heavy, because it's actually kind of heavy, and it just weighs it down. So you do want to keep Hulk's hand up, whichever hand you put the hammer in. You really need to keep that up like that. And the thing is, he really doesn't have too much trouble standing with his accessories. There. So you can't see that he does stand with his accessory. And then we'll even him out here in a second. He comes with this battle axe. I think it looks really nice. I like how it's the axe on one end and the spike on the other. And it's got that marbling in the plastic, as well as the dry brushing of brown, light brown over it, that kind of makes it look rusty. You can see there it kind of looks rusted. I think that looks really cool. I forgot to point out, there is some sculpting going on the handle. It's got some scratches and dents in it. So I think that looks really awesome. You can put this in his left hand, or right hand, honestly. Whichever you want. I'm just putting it in it like he holds it in the movie. So there's Hulk with both of his weapons. And it will take a little while to get him to stand up, but you can get him to stand up holding both weapons. You can see this hammer is so heavy that it tends to weigh his hand down. So now for the face sculpt. I'll take the helmet off for that. I really love the face sculpt. There. Now I'll be able to get it close to the camera. I think the face sculpt looks really, really good. I really like how it looks. I think it looks like Mark Ruffalo, like you can tell. I actually think this one looks more like Mark Ruffalo than the past version. I was actually going to do a comparison of it, but I can't find it for anything. That really bothers me. Leave it to me. But I think it looks really nice. I would have preferred like a more snarling look. That's kind of just like Hulk is disappointed in you kind of face. I would have preferred an actually screaming, or at least a head where he's going like that. Because, you know, in the trailer, he is yelling or screaming when he comes out of the when he comes into the Gladiator arena. So I would have preferred that, but overall I still like it. He just doesn't really look too angry. He's got some war paint right there. And his hair is actually just that light black color. There's no dry brushing of green in it like there is the Age of Ultron Hulk. And now let's put his helmet back on. Or I can leave it off for the review. Yeah, because I'll have to show the articulation. He's got this separate shoulder piece that I really like. The straps are just really kind of soft, rubbery, kind of plastic. He's got more war paint all over him. And the one thing that I don't like with this figure is that no matter how you line this up, the strap, it doesn't actually line up with the war paint here. Because you can see it stops right there so that the strap can be right there. But it just doesn't match up. Like, you know. And it tends to slip like that, so you usually get that right there. Which it doesn't really bother me. And this is removable. You can remove this. Like that. Let me see there. Trying to get this over his weapon. So you can see that this does come off. And what really surprised me is he actually has chest hair painted on. This is the first time that Hulk has actually had that, I think. Because the previous version was just all green. I actually kind of like him better like this. I think he looks more Gladiator-y. But you can see the shoulder piece right here. And it's got a lot of sculpting to it. I think it looks really nice. And it's even got a little bit of blue mixed in with the silver plastic. Kind of like Thor does, the movie Thor has with his helmet. And some of his armor. And I really like that. But most of the armor actually is removable in this figure. It's, excuse me. It's really hard to get the toga off, or the loincloth off. But his sandals also come off. And his forearm armor and shoulder armor actually comes off. It's really hard to get off, and I probably won't do it in this review because I don't want to break the figure. But it is possible. I have seen others do it. There you can see all the war paint. And you can actually see where the strap's supposed to be. The strap's supposed to go down like this and then under here. I really wish that it would have been painted a little better. That way it would have lined up a little better. Let me get this back on here. I just really think this is a solid Build-A-Figure. And even the figures in the Build-A-Figure are really nice. Because sometimes I don't want all the figures in a Build-A-Figure. But I wanted all the figures in this Build-A-Figure. The only figures I really didn't like, that I wasn't a fan of, was Odin's Son. I mean, I still like it, but it's still not the greatest. You can see that Hulk has some of his armor on there on his left arm. And this actually, you can tell that they used some of the design from the Planet Hulk comic book figure. And I actually have that, and I will do a comparison to that at the end of this review. Looks really nice. He's got like this glove on underneath, like a fingerless wrap going on underneath. It's purple. I think that looks cool. And he has straps sculpted in. And these are soft. These just shift up and down so it doesn't hinder any of the articulation. He's got just forearm and wrist armor right here on his right hand. I like how it has that purple wrapping. That looks really awesome. And on the inside of his helmet, he has more of that wrapping. I like how it's purple, you know, because Hulk originally wore purple. And then there's his loincloth. And I actually thought it would be hard plastic, but it shifts up and down, and it doesn't hinder his articulation in any way. I think it looks nice. It's got some scratches and dents sculpted into it. It's got just a little bit of a dry brushing of purple over it. You can tell it reflects purple just a little bit. Then here's the back. These straps they're very soft and bend. And you can see that the pants he wears underneath his loincloth, sculpted all the way in. So that looks really cool, because that also goes all the way back to the original Planet Hulk comic. They're using the design of that, which I really love. You can tell that the design is the same, just kind of updated a little bit and, you know, made more for the movies. And then there's his footwear. Now this isn't removable, but his sandals are. As you can see, it's a separate piece right there. I wish that this joint right here, the swivel, would have been painted brown, so that way when you're moving his blade or his foot, that it wouldn't look like it's separating right there. Because if you keep it like that, it looks like, you know, it's all one piece. But then you move it and there's that. So it's not too bad. There's sculpting going on the bottoms of his feet. So I really like this figure. It's really, really solid figure. And I'm just a really big fan of it. And, you know, it's just, it is bigger than the original Hulk, because even though I can't remember where I put it right now, I did do a size comparison when I first put this Build-A-Figure together. And he's about an inch or two taller than the original Age of Ultron version. So now I'm going to go over his articulation. He's got a ball-jointed head that can look up that far, can look down that far, move side to side. He's got ball-jointed shoulders that can move out that far. This doesn't hinder his articulation. You can see that his arms just really don't move out that far. He's got a swivel at the bicep. Just about lost my train of thought there. He's got a swivel at the bicep, single-jointed elbow, swivel at the wrist that can move up and down and side to side. He's got a ball-jointed diaphragm that can move back that far and move down even more. And this is what surprised me also. He's actually got a swivel at the waist. Most figures that have a ball-jointed diaphragm or any kind of joint right here in the torso really don't have the swivel at the waist. But this Build-A-Figure does, and I really like that. He's got ball-jointed hips that can move out that far. He can just about do a split. He can kick forward that far and back that far. He's got a swivel at the thigh, double-jointed knee, swivel at the ankle, and an ankle rocker. So even the articulation on this figure is great, and none of the armor hinders his articulation. Like, it might hinder it a little bit with this, with the helmet on. Let's see. No, he can still look up all the way. I thought because of this, back piece, it might hinder it. I do really prefer to leave this helmet off. It does look a little bulky on him. I like it better like that, but you can leave this on. It's just a little bulky, I think. It looks a little too big for him. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So now for comparison, I'll start out by doing a comparison with the original Planet Hulk. Here's the original Planet Hulk. And you can see how the figure originally looked. You can tell that it's the same with this armor right here and the silver arm. This is actually the silver arm variant of Planet Hulk from the Annihilus Build-A-Figure. And he actually had a shield. I'm wondering if we're going to see Hulk have a shield in the movie, since this one had a shield. That'd be awesome to have that on this figure. Which, let's see here. Let's see if you can swap them. Just to kind of... Let me get this out of here. Yeah, so if you wanted, you could actually use the shield on this Hulk. It actually stays on. Let's put this hammer back on him. Or back in his hand, I should say. That looks awesome like that. So imagine seeing this in the movie. This would be awesome. He's already awesome the way he is, but seeing him with this shield would just be really awesome. And so now I'm going to do a comparison to all of the other figures in this wave. And I'm going to do it a different way, not show every figure all at once. I'm going to show them from my favorite to my least favorite. Which, like I said, all the figures in this wave are pretty solid, and I like all of them, except for Odin's son. He's just not my favorite figure out of the wave. So first up, here he is next to my favorite figure from this wave, Ares. This figure just really blew me away. Here Hulk is next to my second favorite figure from this wave, Hela. Here he is next to my third favorite figure from this wave, Jane Foster Thor. And you can tell that he is really, really tall because Jane Foster is a little over 6 inches. So this also scales with your normal Marvel Legends too, as well as the MCU figures. Here he is next to my 4th favorite figure from the wave, Thor. Here he is next to my 5th favorite figure of the wave, which it's not that it's bad, it's just he really didn't have any accessories, but still a solid figure. And then here he is next to Odin's son, my least favorite figure of the wave, which still was a solid figure, but not my favorite. And again, here he is next to the original Gladiator Hulk. So I would highly, highly recommend this Build-A-Figure. And I would recommend every figure in this wave, because some waves I don't want every figure in the wave, you know. I just want the Build-A-Figure, but not every figure. So I would recommend getting all the figures, except Odin's son, to get to build this figure. So I would highly recommend it. So that's my review. And if you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.